What's up? My name is Josh, and today I'm going to help you figure out how to get your first freeride freestyle board, the great all-around board, if you will. And then just some things that I did in my preferences. Um, so I'm going to show you two boards, very different if you look at them, but with some similarities. So over here is a loaded Tesseract. I currently have some foot stops on both, and what I did is I mounted it so that either way, when I spin around, it is still symmetrical on the foot platform. Now this is a top-mounted freeride downhill freestyle board, right? I have risers on it to give me a little extra clearance, orangutan 88 skiffs, and calibers with a 50-degree base plate, and then orangutan purple bushings. And this board is great because it's going to have the W bar. You can see that through the camera right there. W bar through the center. It's got these 3D wheel wells that lock your feet in, so you're locked around all corners of your feet. Also, the base plate is very, very close to your foot platform, which gives you a lot of power over your, 360s or your slides, which is a great choice. The top mount is going to give you a lot of grip around a corner, which is great for gripping around a corner. It's not going to be the best at high speeds. Great for gripping around a corner. So many people are messaging me. Move this out of the way. Great for gripping around a corner. It's a little bit harder to slide out, in my opinion, than a dropped board. However, with this board, being the fact that the base plate is so close to the foot stance, makes it easier. So it kind of evens itself out a bit. There we go. The next board that I have to show you is the Drop Freeride 44. Now, you might notice these little holes right here. This is a drop-through board, and yes, I have it top-mounted. So the board is not using the, drops. The reason I did that is because, see this little bacon-looking curve in the board? That is the drop platform. With that being said, when it is dropped through and a drop board, there was little to no clearance on the ground, whether I was going up a curb or whether I was sliding, my toe or heel would touch the ground a little bit. Now, this board is significantly longer. This is 44 inches long, so the wheelbase is huge. This board, being dropped and top mounted, still feels very similar to when it was dropped through and top mounted. It's not very, difficult to do it or to adjust after you've switched. So it feels pretty similar to when I had it, dropped through. There wasn't a big change in that, which I was happy to believe because I like the drop-through boards. It makes sliding out a board a lot easier. You have a little more power over the board because it is so close to the ground. So I was a little worried when I realized I needed to top mount it to just use the board because I didn't want to. I wanted to use the drop-through platform. I wanted the board to be low to the ground. Luckily, with the drop platform, it made it feel just the same. Or maybe just a slight difference, but not enough to really matter. Now, this board is a lot wider than the Tesseract that I just showed you, and a lot longer than the Tesseract that I just showed you. Now, like I talked about a minute ago, it's going to have these huge little wheel, wells right here, but pockets right here for your feet to lock in. Now, with this board being a lot longer than the Tesseract that I just showed you, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to get those techie spins down, right? Now, when you have your feet very close to the trucks, the base plate, you have a lot of power over your slides, and you can slide very quick and it allows you to do very technical slides. Now, this one, and with my setup, it kind of makes it similar. So, this one, being a lot longer, it is more difficult me with a wide stance to spin the board around. However, with these pockets and the board being low to the ground, it makes it almost just as easy as doing it on the Tesseract because of it is easier to slide on a board that is lowered to the ground, and these little pockets give me a great place to lock my feet in so I have confidence going around that turn and I don't feel like I'm going to slide out. With that being said, this one being top mounted makes it harder to slide out a slide, but with the wheelbase being shorter and my feet being almost directly over top of the trucks, makes it easier. So they kind of complement each other. And then pretty much what I do is when I go to buy a board, I try to make it resemble or feel like the other one. So say I got a top-mounted board and I'll try to mimic the truck setup on each board so that when I go to switch to another one, it's not a huge drastic time change. I do that because of it's more comfortable for me. And if you're trying to get started on a different board, it's kind of recommended that I stay with the same setup. Yeah. Another thing is that my personal review of this one is that with the caliber 44-degree trucks, so the base plate on this truck is lower, so I still wanted the board to be low. That being said, even without the drop through, without the board being dropped through, it was still a lower truck and still drop deck. So I switched it to the 44 base plate to give me just that, low feel and very stable. So with the caliber trucks, the board being as low as it is and kind of heavy, it feels very precise. It feels very precision. And one thing I've noticed about the caliber trucks, and I've seen it be said before, is that they feel as close to a precision truck as you can get for still being a cast truck. Cast truck, you have a cast, you mold that truck. A precision truck is cut out of a block, if you didn't know. So the precision truck won't have bubbles in it, whereas a cast truck could potentially. However, this particular truck feels the most like a precision truck for the money, and it is very cost effective. That is my alarm telling me to go to work. There we go. Another thing I've noticed about this board in particular is that even though it is heavy and long, with the drop right there and with the kicktails, even when I'm doing like a one-footed manual or something, this allows me to have a lot of leverage over the board. Also, with the board being heavy and longer, when I'm going to do tricks, the weight of it adds a lot of momentum to the spin. So don't think that a heavy, longer board will cripple you in tricks. It won't. This one over here, I'm speeding up a lot, the board has a wider kicktail than the other one with the wheel cutouts. That gives me a lot of confidence when landing on the board because I know I'm going to land on the board and not grab the wheel with my foot. So all in all, both these boards are very good. This one is top mounted. The other one is drop and drop through. Top mount is going to be better grip around corner, harder to slide out. Drop through or drop board is going to give you a little more power over your slide, but it's going to be a little harder to grip around a corner. That being said, if you're using a drop board for a sliding, free riding sliding board, you're good. But that's not to take out the top mounted board. If you're over top of the trucks, it still gives you plenty of torque over the board. It's really just all a matter of your preference. This one has a W bar straight through the center and 3D wheel wells, which lock my feet in perfectly fine. And the other one has a drop platform with some just aggressive concave that really lock my feet in as well. Very different, but with the setups that I use, they make them kind of similar. As always, thanks for watching, guys. Please like and subscribe and comment as well. I want to know what you think. Well, have a good day.